All right, so just want to knock out this video really quick. This is the rules to trading. I think I did 8 rules that I could currently think of. If I think of more, I'm going to make another list. But I'm going to knock it out as fast as I can. Short video. Um, yeah, short and simple. Let's go. All right, so rule number one, plain and simple, follow the rules. And I'm telling you, and this is not a joke, this is the hardest rule by far, and it's not even close. I can't even tell you guys that I've been trading for what, like 8 years now. The first 3 years, I set rules maybe within the first 6 months, and I did not listen to them. And this is not an exaggeration, a single time for 3 years. If I was down 20%, I would not cut. Yeah. And if I was up 20%, I wouldn't hold a runner. Yeah, I'd take profits at 5%. And this is why my losers would always outweigh my winners. I'd lose 80% on a trade, even if I win 10 trades, right? That 180% loss will kill all the rest of my 5 to 10% wins. This is why I continuously tell you guys, and we'll get into this later. Uh, Main point, stick to your rules, follow your rules, and yeah, and we'll get into each one here in a second. So, number two is port size positioning. Which means do not use more than 15% of your port, 25% if you're under. This is supposed to be 1K. Sorry. Do not use 25% if you're under 10K. If you're under 1K, it's okay because, I mean, $250 for people who don't have a lot of money is a lot of money. Yeah. Um, but as long as you are willing to risk it. If not, stick to the 15 or even the 10%. For people with bigger ports, you should be doing 5%, maybe even less than that, right? If you have 100K, use only 1,000 for a trade, right? I mean, $200, $300 a day keeps the job away, right? Um, so yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Port size positioning is just stick to 10% or less a day. If you want to go up to 25%, only if you have less than 1,000, and that's that. All right. Um, Number three is a big one: is be prepared mentally. The amount of times that I went into a day where I've had a bad night, a bad previous day, in a bad position mentally, um, whatever, you'll go into the day and you will not be prepared, and you will be, you know what, I need to make some money, cheer myself up. And if you lose money, it will wreck you. It will wreck you psychologically, and you'll get into a cycle of revenge trading and trying to get back at the market, right? You do not want to do this. It'll put you in a hole. Number four is confirmation, which means wait for confirmation on the trade. It's one of the ones I still deal with, um, because you don't want to be late to a trade, because if you're late to a trade, you miss the trade. But if you miss the trade, that's okay, right? Um, it's better to miss a trade and it go green than get in the trade late and it ends up turning red on you, right? Because we're the people who got in at first, uh, made profit, you did not, right? Wait for that confirmation on a play. If you miss it, do not enter it, right? All right, number five, stop loss and look away. Yeah, again, clear cut. This goes with number one of the biggest ones with following your rules. You need to just put the stop loss there as soon as you get into a trade. I know losing 20% and then seeing it turn green sucks. But again, imagine losing 20% and then having it go to 50% and then 80%, right? Keep your stop loss there. If you want to re enter the trade because you see that confirmation, like in step four, now once you're down 20%, you can re enter, right? You might even get a better fill than where your stop loss was at. Yeah. Um, Trailing stop. Again, Robinhood does not have this. It has it for buying shares of a stock, but not options. Webull, TOS have it, and it is one of the things that if you are trading at a 50-50 level, 50% losses, 50% wins, right? And your stop loss and your take profit are exactly the same, 20%, 20%, right? Adding a trailing stop to your winning plays allows your plays to then continue to win, right? You hit 20%, you set your stop loss at 10% trailing, right? So if it comes back to 10, okay, fine. It hit the 10. But if it goes to 40%, now your stop loss is at 30, right? So no matter what, even if you're 50-50 as a trader, you're still going to make that extra 10%. So again, yeah, like I just said, set stops and profit and let a winner run. Do not let a loser run. Set the stop loss. And again, we can all be so hopeful that a trade will turn green, and sometimes it will, right? Sometimes it will. But I want you to all remember the time that it didn't, and that you held the loser until your port was gone. Do not do that. Do not do it. Number six is do not overtrade. You've probably heard me say this before, but it's again, if your first two plays in the morning are both winners, what is the point of taking a third trade and risking it, right? I know we all want to hit that price target or that profit target for the day. You don't always have to. Take your green, and I promise you, if you have, literally 2 months ago, I won every single day, right? Small amounts, but that small amount grew 400, 500% in my account, right? So that now when I make a small amount, it's basically equal to what I was making in an entire month 2 months ago. Yes. This goes the same for do not under trade, right? What I mean by this is it basically brings me back to position sizing. Do not full port your first play, because if that first play is a loser, well, then your day's a loss, right? You're not giving yourself any chance to make back anything. And again, do not revenge trade. Um, I was saying this earlier. Revenge trading will kill you. It will kill you because you will not wait for the confirmation, like we said. You will not position size correctly. You will not set your stops, and you will pray to God that your plays go green. Yeah. It again, and you can avoid this one by simply setting your stops to a minimum loss, right? Number eight is patience, and it's probably the biggest one that I need to work on. That's why I also put it last, because I want to highlight it. The amount of times that we want to hop in a trade, and it goes back to the confirmation again. The amount of times we want to hop in a trade because we think, okay, it looks good, right? But you haven't looked over the 10 different indicators and the EMAs and the volume and everything. You haven't looked over everything. You maybe see a pattern and you say, you know what, looks good, I'm taking it. Have patience to see see if it breaks a level, right? See if it hits a support, hits a resistance. Yeah. I mean, it might break under a support, right? And you might take it as soon as it breaks, but then it comes right back up because that 5 minute candle did not close because you did not wait for the candle to close. So now the wick is on the bottom where the support's at, but it closed above the support and now it bounces. Yeah. All right. So that's basically it. If I think of any more, I'm going to make more. But yeah.